Hello, and welcome to the DimStream. Today is Thursday, February 16th, 2023. I'm Beverly, and this is Alex.
Hi, everyone.
I the music as it started scared me. I forget how loud it is on there, but then it startled me, and then I got really nervous when I don't know what happened, or it was just kind of like, we're about to live stream, and got like.
I mean, this thing we do twice a week.
Yeah. And normally it's fine, but it was just like as soon as that music hit, and because it startled me, and then it became this like, oh, you're about to go on stage sort of thing. And I don't know why. It just like I could feel it in my chest. How are you doing? We were troubleshooting internet. Alex's went
Yep.
poorly last night. Mine is constantly bad.
Mine, I'm a lot better than I was yesterday. Like, I woke up and the itchiness started like going away finally. It's not completely gone, but I feel a lot better. So,
Yeah.
this is like, no longer a bad day, essentially, allergy wise. I know I was
Good.
saying that yesterday. It was, God, that was rough. That's why I was like, after the internet kicked me off, I was like, I'm just gonna go to bed.
Yeah. Give up on life. That's how I like to that's how I feel even like in mornings or something when like multiple things go wrong. I'm just like, nope, going back to bed. We'll do this again tomorrow. Not
Well, I don't
worth it.
like napping. So, like, even when I
Oh
don't
yeah.
feel well, I don't want to nap. And
Mhm.
like, I napped on Sunday because I was like so tired. And I meant to nap for half an hour and then I went for another half an hour. So I ended up doing it for an hour and I woke up and it was like 10 after 5 when I finally got out of bed. And I was like, I cannot stream. If I try to, like, I don't know. I hate naps because they don't make me feel good. They
Yeah. You
like
just wake up and
when
are like more tired.
yeah, more tired and just out of it and like I don't know, they do not refresh me in the slightest. So that's why I hate doing it. I'm like I don't know what it is about. Like some people can nap and they're like, I feel great, I feel recharged. I'm like, you lucky bastard.
Yeah. No, I can't. It's rare. Like there have been certain times for whatever reason I've been like super super tired and I'm just like resting on the couch and then I might have like fallen asleep and I wasn't like expecting it. But I can't try to really nap. Like I might just lie there and rest, but and it takes me like an hour to fall asleep. So it's like I can't do a power nap for like 20 minutes to an hour because like that's how long it takes me to fall asleep. So
Yeah.
I just don't. But I do sleep at like my schedule with working with like work staying up so late at night, and then my schedule is kind of like sleeping 3 a.m. to like 10 a.m. and I can't, and I tried going, like I've mentioned before too, like even trying to go to bed earlier, then something happens like in real life where I'm like, well, this kept me up longer than I expected. Or I try to fall asleep and I can't, like my brain won't let me fall asleep till later, even with like whatever sleeping pills I use. And so then I'm still too tired to wake up even early. Like I know you need to like force yourself, but if I don't have any like real reason to do it, I'm not going to force myself to wake up until, well, I can still sleep until 9:30, 10.
My cats eat at 6 a.m. So if
I
I
know, yeah,
don't
you live
if
by,
I
yeah.
know if I don't wake up, like outside the door, I hear Lily like crying mournfully for half an
Uh-huh.
hour, and it wakes me up. So I can't. I'm not gonna sleep any further. Like the thing is though is that every once in a while, like I go to sleep at night, and Missy has this thing where she's gonna wake me up like suddenly. Usually about 20 minutes after I go to sleep, after I literally fall asleep, and like when she does that, it's so hard for me to get back to sleep
Mhm.
because having my sleep interrupted makes my heart rate spike.
Mhm.
So and it's like really when your heart rate is like bah, 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 it's like really hard to go back to sleep at that point. And that's why like when she has her bad periods where she keeps waking me up over and over and over again, I hate it. I like the winter because she does not try to like do that. Like I guess she's more like it's cold. I want to
Yeah.
curl up at night. So like she's a lot more restful in the winter time. But my winters aren't very long out here in the desert.
Yeah, they don't even
So
get that cold. Well, I mean, as like negative degrees here sometimes. But and Corey used to be really bad, and but it was like a matter of trying to train him to like sleep more at night. But that like you're naturally nocturnal, I get it. But so then we're like, trying to adjust. So I have to like keep him up during the day longer and like play, be active to like help you sleep at night. And now he taught himself how to like open doors. So he'll either like push or pull. But like sometimes you might even be able to see in the background, like if the door's closed and he's inside, like he goes underneath it and pulls it open. So the bedroom, I put like a door stop in so that way it can only open so far. And like especially if we have like the heater inside, like the space heater or whatever to help keep it warm, because the bedroom doesn't heat very well with the house heat. But just the other day, we installed a cat door into the bedroom door. Corey does not comprehend what it is, though. So every time he's still just like, if we close it all the way, he gets upset and he's scratching at the door forever, though, too. So then we have to like hold him and just shove him in there. Like he kind of gets it. Like when you put his head against it now, like he will go through, but on his own, I think he thinks he needs the guidance to like hold him up to it. But otherwise, he's just trying to open the door. He'll just scratch and meow. And like there is an opening there, like it's right in front of you. And hopefully he'll eventually figure it out. But he's an old cat. I don't know if an old cat can learn new tricks. So
I have a sliding door between my bedroom and the master bath, and I go into the master bath and I close that sliding door and like take a shower or whatever. And like every once in a while I'm in there with it closed and I see this leg come through the space like a demon, like trying to get in, and then like Missy will shove it open and she like forces her way inside. She's like, God forbid you spend any time away from me.
Alone. You can never be alone. The geese are on the porch again, which the ginger hates them on because they poop. But it's funny when you open the door and then you have like the windscreen door or whatever that second door is called. So it's this screen, and it doesn't have a screen. It's just glass, so like it's not an actual screen.
I still call
it's
it
clear.
a screen door.
So I wasn't sure. Like I can't remember other terms. But so then Plop is just like looking through the clear door. Hey, 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 hey. Close the door on him, and then he just shrieks even louder. But it's so funny. One of my favorite ones was with the chickens. The chickens would hop on the porch when they're free ranging, and then we have like a griddle in front of the one window. And so then the one time I was like walking by and I just saw a leghorn, which is a white chicken, and she's just like at the window, just like, hey, what's going on in there? Oh yeah.
One of the things that Missy does is that when I am in the shower, like the toilet is right next to the shower, and it's a shower curtain, so it's not clear or anything. And I see this shadow on like against the wall over the toilet, the back of the toilet, and I like will peek out, and she's sitting there like, and she screams as soon as she sees my face. Yeah. She's like so excited, like, you're here, get out of that shower so I can spend time with you. It's like, bitch, I am with you like 18 hours a day. Can I take a shower?
Can't. Corey hates closed doors. They hate another window thing. So our back side, it's higher up, just I think guess how the land goes, like, so it's maybe, I don't know, I'm bad with distance, like 6 feet up to the window compared to the ground or something. That's in the living room. So then the one just recently I held Plop, who's a giant goose, and just lifted him up to the window where the ginger was in the living room, so you could just see this huge goose coming up.
Don't they most of them not like him, right?
Correct. Yes. Lemongrab, it's hit or miss. Lemongrab is sometimes chill with him though, and but most of them are not. They're not. The chickens are okay. The hens just want food, so they're not really particular to anyone. The rooster, he's a cock though. He's been more okay lately. I feel so bad. Like he's got the the comb, the tip of his comb is still frostbitten, like it's just black, and I think it's just going to.
Oh.
I think it's how it's gonna stay though. And then his wattles kind of got it, and the one is just like it's shorter than the other because I think it shrunk from some of it too. So it's just like
Mm.
his balls are different sizes. It's gonna keep thinking, but he's and then Lemon Grab keeps attacking him. Like I felt so bad. The geese were going into like the chicken pen because it's open enough for them to go, and I don't know why they like to, but Lemon Grab and Tui do. And Lucy, the rooster, was trying to get back in because that's where like you go into the awning, but I could see him like slowly trying to figure out how to get in there while the geese were on the other side of the fence. So I was going out, I was getting ready, like trying to get my boots on and go out to get him before Lemon Grab attacked, but I was too late and he was already being chased out. Lemon Grab had a feather in his mouth, and then he was scared. He ran all the way because the hens were inside the mudroom at the house. And so he bolted, ran into the mudroom, and then he was trying to get away from me when I was just trying to catch him to check on him, but he was so scared. And I was like, I just want to make
Yeah.
sure you're not bloody because that happens a lot too. And he's like panting, like he was just out of breath and scared. And I'm like holding him, like, it's okay. So I just held him and like pet him for a little bit. I'm like,
Poor
yeah, I
baby.
know. Lemon Grab is such an asshole now that he's a dad. Like, and his baby's bigger than him. He doesn't really need, but it's
That's
just
what
trying to keep
changed.
the
He
peace.
became a dad.
I did. Like he was because before he was a dad, when they'd fight, the rooster would win. Like he's much smaller than, but like Lemon Grab would chicken out and then chicken out. I almost said pussy down. I was like, oh no, this is on YouTube.
But
And then
chicken out doesn't make sense when you're
I know
talking
what you're
about
talking about.
literal
Yeah,
chickens
I
and
know.
geese.
So like what? But Lemon Grab usually like will back off and run. I remember the one time when like Lemon Grab got caught in the fence, and then Lucy was just like on his back, like hopping on, and Lemon Grab was just down on the ground, so sad. So I had to break up that fight. But yeah, ever since Plop was born, Lemon Grab is just like he is determined and he always wins. Like and no one messed with him. I'm curious to see if ever Plop and Lemon Grab. I don't want it. I'm just curious to see if they ever will feel like competitive or something. I need to do that. So far, they just share hope when they're mating in step 2. They're like, all right, your turn. Okay, I'll wait
Oh
over here.
my
I'm like, oh,
god.
are you done yet? And like one slips off, and like, all right, my turn. Let me. They really tag team on her, and sometimes they're like both standing on her, like, oh my gosh, she's too small to have like both of your weights on at once, and you're just like sliding off and not doing anything correctly.
Oh my god, that is so disturbing.
This is my life. This is a normal day in the life of Beverly. Is looking out the window, seeing more than that. The other night, Lemon Grab and Plop were like circling each other in the pool and kind of trying to step up on one another, and I was just like, I'm watching, I'm like, I don't like, you guys, I don't think this is a really great idea. And they just kept kind of like trying to figure out, like, am I like, you look like you wanted it, is this what you're trying? And they're like both trying to do that. And then I look down to the side and Chewie is just standing there looking at me, and I'm like, I don't know what you want me to do, man. That's your like husband and your son. This is on you. I just went inside, but it was just so funny because like I'm staring at them and I look down and she's just staring at me.
She's like, human, fix this. This is fucked up.
Like, you can get in the pool for Lemon Grab, or Hope was, I think, was inside or something too, though. I'm like, yeah, you don't have the lady here. So it's just like, I don't want any part of this. I'm gonna go inside.
That's so funny.
Hello to chat. Let's see. I think yeah, Johnny Boy. Are you not watching on Rumble? Hello, Mr. Drummer. Well, you're not alone anymore, Johnny Boy. Mr. Drummer's here, but we do have others on Rumble. Hi, Coley.
Yeah.
Hate your state. Yeah.
And then Jay Twitcher came over to Rumble.
Yeah.
Obviously, I have both up.
I was disappointed. Just now when I saw that we have 70 on Rumble, no longer 69. Yeah. That was short-lived. The 69ing was short-lived.
Yeah. I can get me up to 69 on Rumble because I'm at 39 or something.
All right.
I'm not sure. I'd have to look. 36.
Okay, so that's so then yeah, you can about less than double 33. Get that up, get to 69 and stay there forever.
Yes. No, I want to get to 100 so I
Yeah.
can stream for free on
Oh,
Rumble.
yeah. I have to if I ever get to that point, it seems it's like a slow progress. It's
But you're
slowly but
30
surely.
away.
Yeah. So once I get to there, then I have to remember to like cancel the $10 a month thing. I'm still trying to figure out how to get money from Rumble. Like they still have money, everything that I've been gotten the donations toward. And I've messaged them and they're like, yeah, it comes in automatically once you, and when you have, I'm like, I've done all this. And then I asked them again, can you check my account just to see like, is how my status is? Like, is there anything wrong? And then I haven't heard back from them.
Oh,
And then I
gosh.
reached out again and I was like, can someone check this out? Didn't hear back from them. So a little concerned about that. Rumble, gonna get more annoyed the long like I was waiting the 90 days or whatever. I think it said that sometimes it could take, or so I'm like from when I started in November to, but we're coming up on that now, right? 12, 1, 2. Yeah. I'm like by the end of this month, if they still haven't gotten anything, I'm gonna need to hassle them more.
I think
David
I'm gonna get
Hasselhoff.
my first distribution next week for YouTube.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
How long does that take? Is that delayed?
It's like when you get $100 at the end of the so like say you make it to $100 in January like I did. They will pay it out in the like from they said from like the 16th to the 20th of the next month. So like I should be getting it soon.
Okay.
So like so they pay you out like once a month, I think is what it is, and as long as you have $100 coming to you on YouTube, and I finally got there.
Yeah, Rumble was only 50, but they are still just keeping all of the money.
What? Rumble changed it? Maybe. Let me go check their Twitter account.
What did it say? Is it now 100?
Now 25.
Oh, really?
To stream for free.
I'm 25.
You're definitely. We're both there.
25 people, subscribers, or 25?
Yeah, 25 subscribers. That's what it was.
Oh, well then, yeah, I definitely need to cancel.
If that's what it is.
Huh. All right. As a publisher, you're paid automatically between 30 to 60 days after you reach the minimum $50 required to cash out. This is their email to me. All you have to do is make sure your payment details are set up correctly, and we will process the payment as soon as it's available. And I did all those things. And yeah, it looks like, and then I think they only pay through PayPal though. Is that right?
Ooh.
Yeah.
Like
you have to choose
PayPal
PayPal or check with a QUE.
I would rather get a check. I literally closed down my PayPal account.
Well, and I wouldn't mind doing that if I could. I wanted to, like, PayPal seemed more like, okay, that would be a quicker thing to get though. And at least I would get a notification saying that I was sent something in PayPal, like a check. I don't trust the post office. We were just talking about that with the newspaper problems too. So I also don't like physical mail, but, and it seems like I probably shouldn't trust that because they're not paying out anything. So come on, Rumble. Definitely. Either way, I guess I should cancel the $10 a month. I'm not going to pay you if I can stream for free now. Yeah, PayPal sucks, Cole.
I hate them. Like I really like. I don't understand why Rumble, who like literally takes people to court for like free speech shit, is willing to work with PayPal. It's like,
I know
there are other options now. Go with them. They're integrated with locals, and locals.
Why can't they just do like direct bank accounts or something? They're like, I don't understand why that isn't an option. Like, why only PayPal?
You can also, like, if you're, they say they have integration with locals now, and locals you can pay out through Stripe, and I'm like, Stripe is a payment processing company, so
why wouldn't you add that?
With them. They're 7 out of 10 for freedom of speech by, like, I can't remember who said what.
Does that seem kind of low? I don't know. A C.
7 out of 10. It was the best rating out of every single payment processing companies.
Why aren't there freer payment processing companies? 7 still doesn't seem like a great great. I'm really biased in that, like, 5 is a failing score. So if we're not, because that's just how it is in school. So I don't know
Yes.
how that's if that's different to you, like where in outside of school, if we're like 5 can still be passing depending on like I don't know where that line is um and that
Yeah. I
and what would
consider
you
5 not passing even when I taught at school because if you got below a 60%, you failed the
Yeah, well, that's
class.
what I mean, like, anything in school below 60 is failing, but I just don't like if my thought is, like, ranking, people's, attractiveness, though, when they do, like, 1 to 10
Oh,
and 10.
okay. Yeah.
So then when I'm thinking about that, that's the first thing that comes to mind, because I think people will still, like, like, a 6 can be a good a number because their 10 is, like, the epitome of a human being, though, so, like, okay, like, not everyone can be that. So, like,
Yeah.
realistically, your average, like, 8 might be, like, mostly, like, what you're like, the as attractive as most people might get. So, I just don't know. High society reviews 4 out of
I
10.
think
Bret Hart.
like for attractiveness, I wouldn't pass people based on like the normal grading scale. I would base it on what my grade is versus their grade. Like because that's the thing, like I wouldn't expect a 10 sitting at an 8. And I wouldn't be okay with a 3 sitting at a 7. You know,
If for someone else's scoring of what you see, is that what you mean?
like me versus them, like you should like your value at like on the scale according
Yeah,
to what you like
if I think someone is an 8 and then you think what's your
no, if you think you are a 7 or an 8,
Oh,
like around there, that's what you think you are. You're not going to date someone you consider a 1
oh,
because you're
but
nowhere near them.
oh, so you think that you would have what about people who think too highly or lowly of themselves, I guess? 'Cause
Well, they're the ones screwing themselves.
okay, so you need to find, like, a good or, like, a good because then it's if you think too much of yourself, then you're gonna be going out of your league of what, like, might be
Exactly.
more
You have to have a
okay,
much more reasonable thought of what you are.
okay.
But I think most people do that. They go like, I'm a 10, so I deserve
Mm.
another 10. And that's rare that people are 10s in the first place. Most people are like 9s at max. But like, yeah. And then a lot of women lately who say they're 10s, they're really more like 6s. And, and they think they deserve a 10, which I find
Okay. At one
hilarious.
point, we don't need to do this tonight, but I would like to do a stream where we like because this is just generally I've been wondering about this too because it's come up with like on JDA streams and stuff. But where like you might mention like this so and so a scale, but I want to go through and like compare like let's find actors and things, and then so that way I can just like see like okay where what is a 1 out of 10? What is 10 out of 10 for like at least the because I think a lot of people might be similar enough. They might, be off a little bit, but I think there's a lot of um common
Yeah.
common commonalities. There's who do we have? 6 is mid. I'm so ugly. I'm always pitching above my weight. There's nothing delusional about my grandeur. Punching above my weight. Um Yeah, because I just really wanna know, yeah, like, who's a 10 out of 10? And, like, especially well, it's tough too, like, I was talking to a friend recently about things, but where, like, attractiveness, personality, it's hard to to separate that, like, I don't like, they'll be higher score because of their personality, and, like, that makes me like them more, like, uh again, I'm really into Jack Quaid lately, though, but he's, like, adorkable, though, like, I love how
Yeah.
nerdy and adorable he is, though, so, like,
Listen,
to me, he's, gonna be 9 or 10.
I think some people are weird though because like it's not just based on physical attractiveness. Like men literally are more physically attracted to me without anything changing about their appearance when they are funny. Like they
Yes.
literally
Yep.
they're my estimation of them physically has gone up. And
Mhm.
that's weird.
I'm not
Um
attracted to people who aren't funny, like, that's I think that, like, if you're not funny, then, like, there's even, like, as good looking as you might be, it's just kind of like, yeah, conventionally you're attractive, like, I'm not attracted to you though. Like, most ca
Yeah.
there are some, like, I'll say that, like, that's not 100% true for everything, 'cause there are some I'm like, "Man, no, that is just a beautiful human." But, like, overall, like, it'll be, like, if you're funny, at least there's something that's, like, entertaining about you at all. Like, if you're just boring, then, like, there's nothing.
Yeah. I mean, like, that's the like, I don't know. There's the type of person who's, like, extremely charming and suave, and that, like, for a lot of women would make that guy more attractive to them, but it to me, it's more like a red flag. I'm like, "Whoa, what is he hiding?" Like,
Mm.
like, what kind of an asshole is he actually? Like, whereas the funny guy is showing off his intelligence because you have to be smart to be funny,
Mhm.
honestly. Um, and and sometimes is like poking fun at himself, which shows that he doesn't take himself too seriously. So that kind of stuff is more attractive to me. And the thing is, though, is that I think like a lot of most women are attracted to men who show that they somehow have money. And then I've noticed this, and it kind of bothers me, but like a lot of people are tricked by window dressing, like uh and it depends on your culture what that window dressing is, honestly. In Western culture, for women, the window dressing is you know uh, makeup and like a certain amount of like a certain style of clothing and stuff like that. And I'm like, literally look at her face and tell me she's attractive. That's the part that I'm like,
Mhm.
like, consider it, because like usually like maybe she has like a gap teeth or like slightly crooked eyes or something. And I'm like, she's not as attractive as the window dressing makes you think. And I think they talk about this a little bit, or tangentially, on How I Met Your Mother, when he said that Barney says that women can seem attractive in a group of women
Oh, yeah,
of
yeah.
like similar attractiveness, but really they're all like not that attractive when
Mhm.
you take them of
Like,
like,
zoomed in on, like, each
yeah.
one of
And
the
one of them was Marshall,
Oh,
essentially.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
I love that Marshall and Lily both found her attractive
It was like,
because
"I
of,
don't know." Yeah.
I like
No,
that
that was a
one.
good the one thing with How I Met Your Mother that still always bothered me was that they did a scene where, like, Barney was talking about, like, women, like, aren't attract something about, like, being attractive without makeup or not, and Robin came in, and he said something about, like, her wearing makeup, and she's like, "I'm not wearing any makeup," and they're like, "My god, you're gorgeous," and I was bothered because the actress was clearly wearing makeup, like, even if it was, like,
Hmm.
subtle, though, I was like, "No, that's not what she looks like
She's doing
naturally,"
a
and
natural look
yeah,
makeup. She
and it
was, I'm
really
like, I know.
and
Like,
I
I
get
never
that, like,
wear
it's
makeup.
on
Like, in it,
stage.
you
Uh,
have to. I
so
I know.
and it is like, a studio or fake, it's a multicam setup though too, so it's like, okay, I can kind of understand that, like, maybe you have to wear it just for the way it's set, but just those lines, like, when I'm like, I can see that she is wearing it though, like, it wasn't,
I know that
subtle,
frustrated
so I
me too. I did
mhm.
once record a training thing at work where we had our work has an actual like set with lights and everything, and like high def professional cameras and mics and all this stuff. Like, it's really, and boom mics, like it's really like serious and everything. And I recorded it, and it was just for internal use. Um, and I was not wearing makeup. They hired a makeup artist, and I told my boss that I was not going to wear makeup. And she was totally cool with it and everything. Like, and I was like, it's internal. I don't give a shit. I know I'm under stage lights. I don't care. Like, and then like I watched it, and I'm like, I don't think I needed the makeup. Like, honestly,
Mhm.
it did not change anything really.
It's like the
For
lights can wash you out, and that's what, like, if anything, like, they do like something that kind of tan you a little bit, like foundation, like a darker something like for stage. And I never did it on for or in
Yeah.
high school and stuff because I was already tan enough. The only thing
Yeah.
that I remember doing was senior year when I played the aunt. I was like the ghostess with the mostest, and I was the main character, and I was Aunt Polly. But I had nephews, and so like they were white people though, so like they wore like slightly darker foundation like on there, and then I wore like a little bit of powder on it to kind of like we blended to like match our
Even you
skin.
guys out.
Yeah. Yeah. But that was just
Yeah.
like for the sake of like, and it didn't like we didn't need to. It was just kind of like, yeah, we'll do this.
I think I only wore stage makeup for production like once or twice, but like it was not my preference to be on stage. It was always my preference to write or
I like
stage
both.
manage.
I did it all. I like writing, directing, and acting. So I did all
Yeah,
of it.
I mean, I can act, but I'm just not a huge fan of it. And like basically when it was like, oh, we're gonna do it, and they're like, all right, everyone's like, wait your turn and get the stage makeup, and I would just like quietly avoid it, like no one noticed that I
Oh yeah,
haven't
yeah.
done it. And then like afterwards, we had usually videographers recording it, and I was like, it doesn't, I don't see a difference. Like honestly, I don't. Like, and, like I don't know, because like when they put makeup on me, it's so pink on me. It does not look good because
I
I'm
already get
olive.
pink. My cheeks already just naturally get super pink.
I'm so olive skinned but pale, so it's like finding a foundation that actually works for me is like really weird and awful. So it's one of the reasons why I don't do it. The other reason is because I fucking hate it. But like, and I was so like the stage makeup, they never had anything that actually like looked good on me anyway. Like I've never seen anyone have something worthwhile. So I'm like, I'm sorry, I just don't see a difference. Like if you want to make my eyes pop, I get it, because like that's something that might wash out, but my lips are already like really pink. So I'm like, what are you gonna do different? I don't know, but like I've been lucky, I suppose, to be able to get away with not wearing makeup.
Just avoiding it. Like
just
like,
avoiding it as much as I can.
I like Mr. Drummer. My little black dress never lets me down. Five Skin
Hate Your State called it the cheerleader effect. That
Oh
is what
yeah, I did
Bernie called
hear.
it. Yeah.
I just found out about involuntary celibacy the other day. Damn, bro, that stuff sucks. You just found out about incels recently?
Yeah, that's
I'm surprised that's a little bit older term. I think I started reading this
yeah.
and stopped. Fives can grow on you. You can quickly go off. Eights personality counts long term. Wait, fives can you can quickly you can go off them as in like be unattracted to them based
Yeah.
on personality. Men are more realistic about their looks. Women are more narcissistic. Um, Probably overall, I would say that I know some men who are probably a little too full of themselves too, like where it's like, I know my value, like okay, but then you're I don't know, like, or at least you have like too high of expectations of others or something that like where it's just kind of
I know what Society Reviews is talking about though, because there's all those women who are like, every man who I interact with is hitting on me. And it's like, are they? Are they
yeah.
really? Like those women at the gym who are like, this guy's looking at me, and because he wants to fuck me, and it's like, no, he's looking at you because you're doing a handstand. No, who's doing that at the gym? Like this idea that everybody is always in you. Like I don't know. We have a problem in our society where everyone takes men's consent to sex like for granted. So the idea is that like, oh yeah, of course that's why he's around. He wants to screw you. And it's like, maybe he's waiting for the weights. Like you're
Yeah. I'm just like really annoyed. Like, my God, this girl was such a bitch for like she's really hogging this whole thing. I'm like, wow, he's really into me. Keep staring. God, just like hurry up.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll say this is gonna make me sound narcissistic, but I feel like I've come from like a different side, just more in like talking to people over time where I didn't realize like, oh, that I never considered them being like interested, and then like having discussions with friends later on, like, oh, like you were like I never knew that, like I never considered that kind of thing. So
Oh yeah,
I think it's
I assume no man is interested in me. Like that's
Yeah,
my
yeah.
my default is that, oh no, we will have a conversation, but you're not actually interested in me as a romantic interest or a sexual interest at all. Which is kind of funny because like there was this one guy I knew who one time I was walking down the street and he was behind me on his and he saw me, he recognized my coat and he whistled at me like a wolf whistle, and I like turned around like angry because like hardly ever happens to me. And I look and it's him, and I just started laughing because I'm like, oh okay, this is fine. And I'm pretty sure it was a joke. And he's all like, he said, oh thank God it's you, because there was another woman around that area who had the same coat. So there was a very good chance that it was not me.
Like he
And
was trying to.
yeah. He was like so relieved. It really was me. And like I tell a friend, like a male friend about that later, and he's like, I think that guy is actually into you though. And I'm like, is he? Like, I don't know. Like, I assume he's not. I'm like, like you would know better than I do, man, than I whether
Is
that
that
guy liked me.
is that like easier? Like, are guys able to tell when other guys, or just because based on like how females can be more I can't think of the word, observant for like human behavior compared to males generally though. So I don't know, like can guys recognize guys interested more than like a girl can do that, or is it just
Sorry, that was right next to the mic.
You're fine.
It's like that was probably super loud. Um,
Brought to you by whatever Alex is drinking.
yeah. I don't like. I think maybe men are better at knowing when a man is into a woman, is
Mhm.
making moves. I think he knows better. I think they know better because like most men like in Western society do the same general things when they're into a woman, uh,
Mhm.
unless they're like a weird guy. So I would assume that they would understand it versus I'm just weird and I don't read social cues well.
Mhm.
So I'm assuming that I'm the strange one who can't read what's going on in situations. It takes me forever to learn that my best friend that I've known forever wants to leave. Like I don't like he literally has to say it because I can't tell, even though I've known him forever. So that tells you how good I am at reading people in the moment. Like I'm really good at reading like psychological things when it's not an actual social interaction that I'm having.
Okay, so just being outside at like the third party. I was saying, was it just yesterday? Yeah, that I'm really not observant with like like what people wear, like what they look like, or when it was about the magnets and stuff on the chocolate, like I don't notice that type of thing. But I think I'm better at behavior. Like I think I pick up so that's the kind of thing. Like even animal behavior too. Like I remember Lemon Grab when he was only like 5 months old though, but like I remember he was not feeling well and he wasn't like really actively showing signs. He just wasn't being as responsive. Like he would just kind of stand there. And when I'd like go out and say hi, like he just wasn't really doing anything. I'm like, no, like he's sick. And then he had metal inside him and like his foot was hurt. He started limping. And then so we took him to the vet and he got the x-ray and like, yeah, there's a piece of metal that's like pushing on him. But it was like, it's a subtle thing, but I could just tell like his behavior is different though. Like I see that Corey, he gets earwax and stuff too. And so I can tell when it's bothering him, but it'll just be like just a slight tilt of his head. And it might not be that noticeable or anything. Because I remember when my one friend was cat sitting Elsie and Corey, we came home and then saw like, oh yeah, Corey's not feeling like, Corey has this ear problem, but like my friend didn't notice, but it was just like this slight tilt. So it's like behavior I notice more, but not like observing looks of things.
I'm really good at reading Lily's face and knowing what she's thinking or wanting from me, which it's stupid. She's a cat. Like, but I've had her since she was 4 weeks old, so I better be good at reading her. But she's very obvious to me anyway about what she's thinking because most of the time it's food. Like her
Yes.
wants are simple, you know.
Mhm.
But yeah, like this from JEC, is the man willingly entering into a conversation with a woman voluntarily? probably wants to have sex with her.
Huh. Okay, good point, I guess. But then that just makes me think back of, like, all the times that I've had, like, was that what the hearing things like that, even from other friends, it goes back to, for me thinking, like, what were any of them thinking at that time in conversations? Like, I never thought that, um, but and not to say that, like, oh, I wouldn't have been interested in them, like, back though, I'm not trying to say that, like, oh, like, they're all it was just like, oh, I never thought that that was what was coming from them, from that direction.
Yeah.
I have a questionnaire I hand to women just to check. And then what is he on? I see molten salt, and I don't know who that is. If you're new, welcome. If do you know Stay and Salty? Because 'Cause you're both salt? Hi, Wesley.
Yeah.
Wesley. Hi,
Wesley.
1924. I just call you
What
G-Man
about
too.
voluntary, celibates?
Is that what Volcells is when you're is that what
Yeah,
that
because
means?
incel
Vols
is involuntarily
sorry.
celibate, which, by
Okay.
the way, it was originally coined by a woman to
Mm.
say she was
Oh, really?
involuntarily celibate, and it's like, honey, you're a woman. Unless you are a literal fucking zero, I guarantee you, you can find someone willing to screw you. That's like maybe not someone you want to have sex
Yeah,
with,
but
but
someone
someone probably will want to screw you. But like voluntary celibacy, like if you want to do that, I
yeah,
don't see a problem with
I don't
it. Like
care.
go for it. I don't care. Go ahead. And I honestly don't see a problem with people who want to be tremendously promiscuous either. It's like just know that that has social implications for you. Like I
And
don't like
and not just social, and I'll let me preface too and say, like, I don't care, like, if that is what you wanna do with your life, like, that's totally fine. Like, Alex and I have talked about we're not like, super conservative types of people, though, like, I still think that, like, you can do whatever you want. You just have to understand that there are consequences to actions, and that will be different for other people. So, like, the social stigma that there might be from that, but also just how that can affect you later on in relationships where it's like someone like on either of woman or man might be like, I don't want to be with someone who's had sex with like, 100 different people though too. And you just have to so you kind of and it's hard to plan, especially when you're younger, to like think about that in the future, how might this affect me? But and not everyone will like, but they might be fine with it. Like, yeah, I also slept with 100 people, so that could be totally fine. But you just have to be aware that there could be someone who's like, yeah, you decide you wanna settle down with someone, but that person isn't the type of a person who is interested in someone who has slept around so much. So you just gotta be aware that that is a possibility, like, those are the risks that you're
yeah.
taking, not even just, like, for
And it's totally their right
transmitted
to
diseases.
make yeah, it's totally their right to make that decision that they're not interested. Like
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
because it's like you had the right to decide you wanted to sleep with a bunch of people. They have the right to decide that they don't want to sleep with you. That's just and build a life with you. That's their decision too. I think it's
Yeah.
funny that they're trying to like reverse like this social choice thing. They're like, it's a stigma. And it's like, no, it's not. It's a personal choice. It's not a stigma for everybody. There are definitely people out there that don't care. Like,
Yeah, some
but
people might be like, "Man, they have a lot of experience. They'll know a lot of things in bed, so alright."
yeah.
If you're clean,
Yeah.
then it's just kind of like, "Yeah, you got checked out, you're good, alright, let's go."
Yeah. And honestly, it's like just find those people. Don't choose people who don't want you back. Like that's
Mhm.
my problem with that. It's like, oh, this person rejected me. Okay, move on. Like, and it's funny too because it's so often women who also complain about men who don't um like accept rejection. And it's like, you need to learn to
Yeah,
accept rejection too, because that's what that is. He's rejecting you.
but then
And
they
it's
just end up being
totally cool.
misogynist
Yeah.
fat phobes or whatever too. It's like, well, everyone has their preferences for things. But let me also say that I'm I so I think some people might be too shallow or something. Like, that is your prerogative to do it, but I can also judge the person who's, like, being
Yeah.
judgmental and say, like, "I don't think that's cool that you're judging for these reasons, but it's your prerogative to do that. I just
Yeah.
think that's, like, douchey or something," whatever it might be.
Yeah.
So, but it's all one of those things that you just have to accept, like, yeah, you can make those choices. I can also have opinions on your choice. Like, I think you have the right to believe what you want. I also have the right to believe things, like, I have opinions about you believing
Yep.
those things, so
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I
like, I
like,
do
honestly,
judge.
I don't have a lot of judgment in how people decide to have sex or not have sex or build what they think about relationships or whatever. I just like, I know what I want. I just and I know that that limits my options, as it should, honestly. Having a superfluous choice is not good for you, honestly. It causes paralysis of choice. And I don't care what other people choose. Like, as long as everyone's consenting, I don't care, and like, at all. Any anything that they want to do, as long as everyone's like on, like, consenting, including that being, we're never gonna have sex. I might laugh at that one. Like, people getting married and never having sex. I've seen that situation, and I'm like, wow, that's
Why? They
it was a religious couple. It was really funny.
but,
Like,
isn't that
they
when you're allowed to do it?
you would think so, but they had convinced themselves that it was more godly not to have sex.
But I
And I
thought
was like,
if this is a Christian couple,
yes,
but
it
then, like,
was.
doesn't the Christian stuff about, like, procreating and having, some sort of
I know. I thought it was
progeny?
weird from their interpretation of the Bible, and I thought maybe she just was asexual and didn't
Mhm.
realize that. Like, in some way, she had an aversion to sex because he didn't. Because I can tell you he didn't, because
That
he
marriage
said
last.
every time he had a sexual urge, he would eat a raw potato. That was his coping mechanism.
Poor guy.
I know. It was like, how many potatoes must they go through?
Yeah. Wow, do you even know him? I'll say and I'm not thinking just sexually too as far as judging people, because I was thinking, like, I think people have the right to be racist, that, like, I don't,
Yeah.
like, whatever, like, I'm don't like white people. I'll be, gentle with that, even though you're not supposed to be able to be racist against white people.
Yeah.
But so whatever, like, I just think that, like, yeah, like, you can feel that way. I disagree with it, like, I don't think you should do that, but, like, but you can all but it's so I don't think I should do anything necessarily. Like, I think depending on your relationship with them, you can kind of be like, "Hey," you can what's his name? Darren what the black guy who went to the KKK members and, like, was able to, like,
Oh,
one
yeah. I
time.
know who you're talking about. Yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah.
so I think, like, like, that's helpful too, but I also don't think, like, "Oh, I'm obligated to try and force them to change their minds about anything."
Yeah.
Huh.
Well,
Getting
see,
fat
the
and
thing
getting
is too,
pumped.
is that they wrote about that couple in like some publication because it's a weird situation, and they wanted to bring it in there, and it was basically everybody laugh at the freaks, and it's like,
Yeah.
even I saw Christians going, "What is wrong with these two?" Like, even they were questioning these two people, and I'm like, I don't know. I don't know that it's gonna work, but I think it's still up to them. Okay.
Yeah. But again, that's one of those things where I'm like, it's weird. Like, I'm judging it in the sense that, like, I think that's a weird decision to make, but still, like, okay, like, if that's what you want to do. But there is still the judgment of it saying, like, but I think that's weird. um,
Mm.
I like, how in holy hell does a raw potato satiate sexual desire?
It
Is it a
doesn't. I think
thing?
it was a punishment for feeling it.
Oh, I thought it was, I don't know, something where they're, like, using a potato to charge a light bulb, and then I don't know if it, like, uses the charge from the potato to I don't know. Bible says, "Be fruitful and multiply, go forth and fill the earth." With potatoes, maybe that's what he's doing, like, potatoes aren't fruit, but they're spuds, so maybe eating them is, like, his way of being fruitful. So, a food pun. Oh, Chicago Faucet is here. Okay. Well, with that, let me check on Rumble, and then we can actually do the things that we're supposed to do in this stream.
Yeah, really.
Thank you, Chicago Faucet. He goes to the doctor. "Sir, your starch is off the charts." Yeah.
I know. This was like 20 years ago, by the way, that I read about this couple.
Oh,
I
okay.
would be interested to know if they're still together, honestly,
G-Man says,
or if
"Don't
they
be a
have
hooer."
kids.
Yes, I think if nothing changed in that relationship, they are either miserable or they have separated. I don't see like anything being happy during that because, and this is something that you've talked about too, in that if they were both like, "Hey, we're both happy and like asexual and don't want this," like that could work. But because he wasn't happy, that's the issue there. Don't be a hooer, says G Man. Yeah, part of the problem is that men have stopped giving effort for right or wrong out of fear of fail. Yeah, there's that too. It's just like men don't want to try because they're gonna get me too'd all the time now. They've stopped trying because of the fear of false
That
accusations and
reminds
craziness,
me.
like the recent gym thought filming fiascos trying to prove every man is a perv. Oh.
That reminds me. Some guy. So it was a Reddit post that I think got deleted. But what it was is that this woman was complaining about a guy who's been at her work for a year that they call Dan, and he was um, cordial in how he talked to the women, but only ever talked to them about work. If they tried to make it personal, he would redirect the conversation back to work. But he was friendly with the guys, and they were like, the women were like,
He's
it's
sex.
uncomfortable with the fact that he was not friendly with them.
Yeah.
And one of them was even considering going to HR about him
He's
making the
not
place
being
a hostel. And it's like, I'm like, the guy is probably literally trying to protect himself from
yeah, and he's
sexual
gonna get in trouble
harassment.
anyway. And they're like, he's not hitting
Yeah.
on me. So that means he's sexist. Like, oh, he's
Yeah.
hitting on me. He's a misogynist.
Like,
Uh,
what? Oh God, I could not get over that. It was so awful. It was
wow,
like, this
yeah, it
poor
sucks.
guy.
Don't even talk to women at all. It is
Don't
not.
hire them. They're terrible.
Don't hire us for any. What was it? I think when Chicago Fawcett and Chris were on the stream before 2 weeks ago, they were saying something about I was using the term men just generally. I think it was about gardening, like men garden. And they were both like, women can garden too. Like, why don't you want like women? And I was like, nope, I don't want women doing anything. I do not trust women to do anything. Don't hire them. Don't talk to them. I, Mr. Drummer, were you eating raw potato? I'm confused by eating raw potatoes as a thing. Is that common? Some people used to think that all forms of excitement were dangerously linked to arousal, including flavorful foods. Well, I can I can understand that like excitement can lead like the people's physiological responses are different. Mine are weird. I'll say that. Cornflakes was intentionally bland to not excite people. I do like frosted flakes.
No, because it was by Kellogg. Of course it was.
Yeah.
Just like that guy was like an anti-masturbation.
Was he? Oh, that
Oh
bad.
yeah.
Oh.
He's one of the major minds behind male circumcision in North
Oh.
America. He said circumcision helped prevent masturbation. And
Because it
he was,
dulls the senses and like
yeah, like a man loses so many of his nerve endings in his phallus when you cut off his foreskin. But
Alex, stop
really,
with the sexy talk.
I know. I'm sorry. I have a thing about male circumcision. I think it's wrong. I think it's terrible. It's a money making scheme in North America. It's one of the only body parts that
Mhm.
you're allowed to sell in the U.S. And so much money is made
I
off
was
of
just
it.
thinking
It's
about that, about
insane.
like the skin cream and stuff
Yeah,
using.
it's in some
I was thinking
skin
about that like
creams.
yesterday. Yeah. No, like I said, I've been iffy for so long, but like you had convinced me of like, oh, like this information here that I just don't see the need for it. But it is common though. Like I'm just similarly with like men having no chest hair. Like it's weird for me to see it though, because and so circumcised penises, like that is just like the norm in your brain. So it's kind of like, oh, if it isn't, then it's just strange. I like imagine complaining to HR because someone won't play office politics. Anything tastier than oats makes me giddy. It's like a fat rip of drugs. Yeah.
Yeah, it is horrific, Johnny Twitcher. I totally agree with you. Like videos of
Oh, I
circumcision,
don't want to watch that.
you
Kellogg
don't
was a
see it.
real flake.
He was insane. You know what was kind of funny is that he had like this. He split from his brother. Like they didn't talk for most of their
Oh.
lives because they had a huge fight. And at one point, his brother had left him a message right before his brother died, and no one delivered it to Kellogg until he was on his deathbed. And he's like, "I
Oh.
really wish I had learned this years ago." Like,
Oh. What was
it
the
was
message?
I can't. It was something like forgiving and like loving because it was like an end of life kind of message. It wasn't a like "fuck you" from the grave kind of
Yeah.
thing. So he
Why
was.
didn't they give it to him till he was on his deathbed?
I
Hey, by
don't
the way,
know.
forgot
Yeah, I
about
mean,
this.
Kellogg was kind of crazy and like
Mm,
adamant about things, so maybe they thought he never wanted to know.
yeah.
Um, but honestly, like he could have said that on his deathbed, like, "Oh, I wish I had known this years ago," but still reacted badly when he was
Mm,
healthy and like okay,
yeah.
to a message like that. So like
But it's one of those things too, like, I would still wanna know like, even if I don't react a good way,
well,
uh, yeah, like,
it, I
I
don't
hate
think
I
someone
like
should
to
make that
know things.
decision. I don't think
Yeah,
someone else should make that decision for you. I
and
think they should.
but I on the flip side, I've been there where it's just, like, knowing someone where, like, I know them really well and certain like, sometimes, like, you do kinda have, like, the white lies or just admitting thing where because it's, like, the it is genuinely trying to be in your best interest and, like, no so I've been on that side too, and it's tough but, like, I just know I guess, like, I could say that for me, I want to know everything that, like, I don't like, even if I don't react well or something, though, like, I'd rather have this information, but then I feel that for, like, on the other side where I'm just like, "No," like, it is genuinely trying to, like, help someone else out for their benefit where I'm like, "This will just hurt them," like, there isn't anything that's good about knowing this, and I'd
Oh my
rather
god. That reminds me of another Reddit post. This was from this guy, his wife died in a car accident, hit by a drunk driver in the middle of the day. And he was so sad. Like they'd been together for 10 years. They were just about to start having children and
Mm.
everything. They have the funeral, a week passes after her death, and he gets her phone and gets it unlocked, and he wants the photos from it. And then he starts seeing photos of her with another man and they're not exactly like pornographic or anything, but they're clearly of a romantic nature. And then he finds their messages to each other, and it's clear that she's been cheating on him for the last 6 months, and he is just devastated.
Oh, see, I
Like,
feel like that would kinda make it a little bit easier than of, like, getting over the loss. I'm like,
no, he
"Oh."
said like he felt like he died, like she died twice,
Mm.
and there's actually uh like emotional support groups for people whose romantic partners have died, and then the living romantic partner learns that they've cheated because there's no closure involved. You
Oh,
can't.
yeah, then you can't address Mhm.
Exactly. And you feel you feel helpless because it's like I can't. I'm angry, but I can't do anything about this. Like it's a double whammy.
Yeah.
And it's sad. Like it's like, oh my god, this is the kind of thing that definitely needs some like therapy and group
Yeah.
support of people who understand where you're coming from because it's pretty awful. And the thing is though is that it's like it's common. It's more common than you would think because people don't protect that kind of information with the idea that I might die suddenly,
Mhm.
so that
I think about
information
that just
becomes
generally, like, even if there's, like, nothing that bad on my phone, I do think when I'm, like, driving in the car, like, if I died now, like, are there things that are just would be, like, embarrassing for anyone to, like, see?
like
Like,
clear your
this is something
browser
that I
history.
think about.
Yeah.
Um,
Uh,
so and I still don't actually, like, do I should do, like, clear browser. I do a lot of, like, weird research on things, though, too, where sometimes I wonder, though, I'm like, well, if the FBI would think this is weird, but sometimes I'm like, I'm just curious for like writing or for the sake of just knowing things because I like to know stuff. But it'd
If
be
someone
weird.
looked at my like browser history and stuff, they would probably, if they know me, they would go, well, she was probably just researching something. Like,
Mm-hmm.
that would be their number one thought, probably. Now, when it comes to like messages with people, I'm like, I don't talk to anyone, so it doesn't matter. There'd be nothing there.
All right. Well, we should get started on a thing, but I do
Yes.
see that's awfully sad. Cornflakes may be a boner killer, but watch out if you eat a large bowl of Fruity Pebbles, you'll have a gay old time. A good one. I try to delete my browsing history often. I should. I think about stuff and then I don't actually do anything. I had a partner of 2 years die. I'm sorry, Stevie J, and I don't want any partners anymore. And the same thing happened with cats. Yeah, I mean, I think I want another cat though because I want to give one a home. I get the idea of it's hard to move on though in mourning the loss. Hopefully I don't think anyone should be alone though. I think we're social creatures and you should have someone though. So hopefully you get to a point that you feel that way. I'm here if
But
you
in
need to
your own
talk.
time.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, not rushing it or anything,
yeah.
but just at some point, I think it's good. At least get some cats.
Rainbow, what are you doing here? Oh,
Rainbow. Oh, oh,
she's
hello.
usually a lurker on my channel.
An immortal jellyfish pet. Yes. Um, where are we at? That guy is going to have PTSD from French fries for the rest of his life for the potatoes. Yeah. Now I know what Alex means when she tells me to go shove a potato, stop the genital mutilation, Kellogg's real flake. If you've ever seen a video of circumcision, it's horrific. Alex is right, maybe TMI, but I am circumcised and no brag. I can last quite long, but it gets boring. But he did not like frosting, saying, you have geese, you should think about dying unexpectedly. They would never. All this talk of sex and people who lived a long time ago has made me think perhaps what's needed is a rousing session of gamma hoochie behind the old legacy clock in the parlor. Did I pronounce that right? Is it gamma hoochie?
That was one of the words you'd looked up. And
yeah. And that
what was it again? Was that cunnilingus or I can't remember.
Oral sex, yes, especially cunnilingus. Wait, what's the difference? I thought cunnilingus is oral sex.
It is oral sex, but it's specifically when someone eats out a woman.
Oh, okay. So so a man can't be cunnilingus.
Yes.
Okay.
He can perform it, but
it's one of those things of all cunnilingus is oral sex, but not all oral sex is cunnilingus. You have to just do it.
Yes,
Whatever that mathematical
exactly right.
The logic thing. Let's do some if-then statements for that.
Oh my god, that reminds me. You know Scott Adams? He had
Yes.
said that analogies were a red flag of a person's poor reasoning, saying that analogies were a replacement for reasoning. And it's like, analogies are literally a logical tool. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
It's like, they're bad analogies.
Bad takes on things though. Also, admittedly, every time I hear Scott Adams, I think Adam Scott first, and then I have to like reverse it and remember. But it's every single time. Ooh, sexy logic. To unlurk me took me a really interesting topic, kind of like rare shiny Pokemon. Ooh, cat for a shiny. Cunnilingus is like when you call a blowjob fellatio. So like when you call okay. I misunderstood. It was a simile. Like when,
yes, it's a simile.
But I got confused in what I meant. But yeah, so blowjob is to fellatio as oral as kind of as
eating a pussy. Like I don't know.
Yeah. I was trying to think what term as eating pussy is to cunnilingus. Got it. Okay. What was
Okay,
that?
things have
Is to
gotten really, really dirty.
with
We're an
that,
hour in.
Charlie Chaplin.
Yeah, let's go back to the 1910s where they
Easy
did
street.
not talk about cunnilingus.
They just implied it and through all of I mean, look at that. Look at that jelly bean thing. It's pink. It's flicking the bean. This is a good transition, you know? All
Do you
right.
know what the sign is for masturbation?
I don't know. Is it something like
It's
no.
not this, by the way. It's this.
Okay, yeah, I thought it was something I was thinking like flicking
Yeah,
the other way,
it's
but it's
like
going down.
it is
Uh,
essentially flicking the bean. That's the sign. And
huh.
I love it because like sign language, you can't help any sign language. If you're going to do sex stuff, like it's going to be like really graphic like automatically, you know?
Yeah, because I think this is fucking someone at least according to some sort of YouTube dirty sign language videos I watched in college. And then I think this means sex or sexy, something like that. I don't know how accurate that I just know that those were the
I think this
gestures that I
literally
learned.
is blowjob.
Oh, might be. I think this is like mother, one's father,
Yeah.
grandfather, grandmother. What else do I know? Oh gosh, it's been so long.
What is woman and like man and woman are like that too. Like
Yeah.
up here is masculine, down here is feminine.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh
But
yeah.
we
Maybe
shouldn't
it was the chest.
we shouldn't make this too public because the woke are gonna come for the fact that masculine is above feminine.
Oh. Oh, okay, okay. That's they're gonna get mad at YouTube will get mad at all the hand gestures because then they're gonna be
Yeah.
doing like the OK symbol of white supremacy, but I'm just doing the letter K. What A, B, C, E. Was it E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P. Wait, P, Q,
It's P.
R.
Q.
I thought, yeah, so P,
Sure.
Q, Q. Man, it's been so long. I used to know this so well.
Yeah, me too. I took
P, Q.
ASL
Yeah,
in
I
high
think it was
school.
Q. I just learned on my own because I liked it. R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. Z is the hardest one. Like you actually have to do motion.
You have to do
L,
motion on
M,
J too.
N. Oh, that's true. But that's easier because you're just kind of like Z. I'm like having to move my whole arm. Was it L? Wait, L, M, N.
There's two
O,
R's, by the way.
P.
Did you know
Q.
that?
No, I've only known this one.
There's this one and there's this one.
I thought this was X.
No, wait. There is something. What? I can't remember what it is exactly. But like, yeah, I remember in high school them saying there were two of one of the letters. T U.
So I think I think P is down P, and then Q is like that. I think. Man, it's been so
No,
long.
it's so it's K and K. What is?
K, I thought K and P. I thought K was wait.
So it's
L,
K P
J,
and
K,
this
L,
is
N,
this is
O, P, Q. I think yeah. I think this is
G. Yeah,
G is
because
this. G is this. G H.
oh,
G
they always
H.
had me do G H. This was
Oh,
the G
oh,
I
I think
learned.
this is just like a
G
point.
H. And then like I know a lot of people do this for E, but I was taught
Mhm.
like a much more
Oh.
relaxed E actually.
D E.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
E Q R R
Oh.
S T U V W X Y, which I hate Y because this hurts, and then Z. Yeah, and I know some people say Z is with with your pinky or with your index finger.
Yeah, I have learned index finger, and
I learned
then
index finger too.
what is it? This is I love you. Is that right?
Yes, it's I love you because it's the I, L,
L.
and U all at the same time.
Oh, okay. You. I think I also used to know you are my sex kitty. That's a phrase that I think I learned in high school. Yeah. So you're in a small box off to the side. This is very authentic signing session.
Yeah, we are because that's how it usually is.
Just interpreting. Let's do sign language to this silent film.
Oh my god. So years ago, this happened. There was this, when Nelson Mandela died, there was this huge
Or
funeral.
Mandela effect there too? Oh, yeah, 'cause
Yeah,
people thought he
the
died in prison.
Mandela effect is that he died years ago,
Uh-huh,
not
but then
when he
yeah,
died.
but then
But yeah,
he didn't die, and then he, like, was the leader of a country and really destroyed it or something with, like, communism? I forget what the whole thing was.
yeah, but like, so he died. I think I was in college. Yeah, I was in college when he died, and there was an ASL interpreter at the funeral. He was a fake. He was literally just gibberishing with his hands,
That
and it
is so
turns
baller.
and that like re that that was the most high profile thing he went to as a signer, and because usually he was like, he would get paid to sign at
Yeah.
different
Oh,
events, but
what a
it was just like,
con.
we're gonna have a an ASL interpreter here, but there were no deaf people around. But
Yeah,
for
you
the
can get away with
Mandela funeral, like literally people all around the world watch that. So
you
like
gotta
people
having, like, respect for that kind of
yeah, but it
con.
was revealed that he'd been faking it for
Yeah,
years and
wow, yeah,
getting
but then he got
jobs.
away with it for years, like, I'm a little
He
impressed by
should not
this.
have taken the Mandela funeral. That was his
No,
mistake.
yeah, why would you do that? I want a movie about this in like, not a real one. I want it to be inspired by it and make it into a comedy where he just finds himself, like, unable to say no, and he just keeps, like, getting thrown into these, and, like, it's too late, though, like, you've
And they
gone
just
too
keep
far.
like rising in
Yeah,
importance
and,
as
like, "Oh,"
he goes
he
along.
keeps like, I can't," like, "and if you fail this, like, you die," like, whatever it
Yeah,
is,
like
it's, like, the most extreme circumstances of, like, how he got into this mess.
oh
Um,
my god.
yeah, that'd be fun.
It's hilarious. That's why I remembered it.
Wow, that's amazing. Okay, let me finish reading these chats, and then we'll watch Spelunking. That's why hand holding is so lewd. We're watching YouTube dirty sign language videos go on. Yeah. It was in college in the tutoring center that I worked in, where when we had downtime, we would watch, yeah, like naughty sign language videos. Hand holding is cool. I can't stand when a couple is arm in arm and their hands are in each other's back pockets. Oh yeah, that just bothers me for some reason. That seems also difficult to navigate. I can imagine someone just joining the stream thinking it's some high level online sign language class. Yeah. I'm a little surprised that Mandela is dead. No, I think at least I was gonna act that way. And then I forget what year it is. I watched a couple competitions of ASL on YouTube, and they are mesmerizing. I bet. I love sign language. I wish I had the time to, or like the energy to commit to to learning more. Okay, let's watch the silent film. I think we can probably
It might have music because they
yeah, we just don't need to worry about speech though. But clearly I'm incapable of talking while also listening to music because that sentence is really difficult for me to get through.
What he's told the derelict and not the tramp.
Oh. This is full screen. Exit full screen, yeah. Look at him.
People didn't know he had like blue eyes and blonde hair for real.
Did he? I didn't know that. I
You can
didn't know
see
he.
sometimes that his eyes are really white on the screen, like
Yeah,
when they
yeah.
do
I didn't
close-ups.
realize he had blonde hair. I never
Yeah.
really thought about his colorful eyes, his colored eyes,
He's using like shoe black
his
and
eye of
stuff
color.
like that.
Yeah, yeah. Okay,
Go away,
happy
subscribe
months.
image.
Nice. Hope. That's the name of one of my geese. Huh. Watching this, like, I think Lucille Ball had inspiration from him. Probably a lot of silent
Definitely.
film actors, because like, she has that one where she's I forget what she was filling in for, that one clown, and so she's frumping in there in that that suit like this. I'm looking for Risky Rickardo. For a feller named Risky Rickardo.
Well, because like tramp,
Hey.
there was a tramp clown style for a long time, and I think
Mm-hmm.
it was all
Yep,
based on
I could
Charlie
see that.
Chaplin. And
Yeah.
he made so many movies that they would call going to the movies, let's go watch a Chaplin, or I think they called
Oh
them
yeah.
Charlies or whatever. Like you would Go to the because there was always a Charlie Chaplin thing available. Why would
Yeah.
you hand this man your baby? And
Good
people used to be
question.
much more trusting.
Yeah. Well, like, it can't be her.
Oh, that's the
Well,
milk.
oh, okay. She's just getting out drugs. Or... Yeah, I guess with those, like, he definitely doesn't have brown eyes.
No.
So you think Hitler took inspiration with that mustache, or?
Well, I mean, he, like, as Eddie Izzard joked, Charlie Chaplin been taking that piss out of that mustache for years, decades before Hitler.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Did Hitler take inspiration from him?
Yeah.
I guess, you know what we could do too is go a little bit faster.
Yeah, it is a little slow.
Because I don't need to worry about speech either, so we can see what's going on. That'll give us a... Because it's just 27 minutes. All right, let's see. 1.5, okay? We'll do that. We'll just watch it.
The book in front of the baby. Like the baby's gonna sing. The guy's got some amazing mutton chops.
Yes. It is impressive to convey only visually, but like, you know, I think it takes to get to do a full story. Like, I always admire that. In my senior project in film school, that I did that in the background because I always thought it was funny. It's like you have the main plot going on with dialogue, and then I had like a full B plot just visually, and then behind the scenes it was a romance as that unfolded, but it was just a lot of silly stuff in the background. They
so often stuff things down those pants.
Yeah, they're so loose. How short is he? Is he like 5'5", 5'4"? I need to know his height.
You look it up.
Height.
What are they 5'4" over? 5'4". Damn, that is short.
But I was there. I was 5'5", 5'4". I can tell. That's why I don't believe, who is it? The Shuri from Black Panther. Everything says that she's 5'5", and I was like, maybe she's just that skinny that it really makes her look like way taller, but I just have trouble believing she's only 5'5".
I can believe it. I mean, I don't know, she just seems petite.
But I guess everyone else was like already short, but even what's her name? I forget her name from Walking Dead. But she was 5'6", but there were times when Shuri was like taller than her, so maybe they just had her in heels or something.
Heels and that giant bun on the back of her head makes her seem taller.
And then what's her name? The new girl who's gonna be Ironheart, Riri. She's only like 5 foot, I think, so she is like super short too. So in comparison, like Shuri maybe just looked it.
Maybe. I mean, the clothing is so still like 1800s. Like, it's like just barely into the
right
20th century. Oh my god. He joined the police. Why did they still give him clothes too big for himself?
I know, right? Without giving like children's clothing, the ginger, he's probably like 5'6". He struggles finding fitting clothing.
5'10" is the average for men in the US.
Yeah, I've read 5'9", I think. But then that's why I get surprised by like, if you're like a petite frame and 5'6", it's difficult.
Yeah, that guy's big.
Oh, I was gonna say too earlier, I forgot, as far as like attractiveness goes and humor, watching Channing Tatum in the Lost City, and then also in the 21 Jump Street films, that made me like find him attractive though. Like otherwise I'm just like, yeah, I get that he's conventionally like good looking, but like there was just nothing. And then seeing him be funny, I was like, man, like no, like he's way more attractive now.
In the face.
Yeah, yeah. I
Like
but that's why
objectively, but not necessarily like unattractive. When
but
you
it is kind
consider
of, yes, I agree. Then but then that's why I was like, well, I can get past that because he's funny. And again,
yeah, exactly.
he's just too muscular. I like him sticks. Why
Why
does
did they
this
had to
need to
show off
happen?
his ass
Uh-huh.
in the movie?
I love the way he walks.
Oh, I know. That duck way of walking. Well, he's also wearing shoes too big for himself, so that like it accentuates it.
Which is like how a goose and duck, their feet are.
Oh God,
Wow.
he's trying to like calm him back up.
I love old phones. I love rotary phones. I love those ones that you
that's
can
where
just talk
the
into.
term APB comes from. That's a like all points bulletin. That's what that means. That's essentially what that means, is going to one of those and like listening into like their general messages. That's why APB is used in Hollywood, because it was an old style of police communicating, but that's not what they say anymore. Once radios were a thing that like every cop had access to, it was bolos, which is be on the lookout.
Yeah, that's true. I didn't think about that.
But that's where that comes from, is those boxes
I
for
didn't know
police.
that.
Yeah.
I just never thought about them not using APB anymore. But I have seen bolo and like police blotters.
I get so excited when I'm watching a police drama or procedural, and they say bolo instead of all APB. Like it pleases me so much, because I'm like, yeah, I know it's not APB anymore.
I have to go back and watch, because I don't even know if I've seen the shows that I watch, what they say. I can't remember.
Yeah. Well, and then except for New York. In New York, they say finest. They're weird. They don't say bolo. They say we put out a finest. I don't know why they say that.
What does that mean?
I don't know, because I think it's because they're like referring to themselves as the finest.
Oh, we're finest are out there.
It's like, are you though?
Yeah, right. New York's finest. Oops, I need to minimize Rumble.
That TV show Sherlock that takes place in New York, which is a modern contemporary American version of Sherlock Holmes. They get it right. They say finest.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, they do. It's so weird to me when like writers don't.
Wait, which one is this that takes place in New York? Sherlock was the British one.
No, not regular. Elementary.
Okay.
Yes. I don't know what they say in for Scotland Yard. Yeah. I don't know what their procedure is. I just know that most of America, it's bolo.
Bolo.
Yeah.
What's going on in chat here too? I like the old SNL Garrett Morris translations for the deaf. She looks kind of like Helena Bonham Carter.
She does. So then, look like her.
Cheeks. Helena Bonham Carter's been acting forever. Charlie Chaplin was extremely handsome.
Yeah, he felt bad for her.
Yeah.
I saw a woman stealing food from a grocery store once. And I was like, oh, this is sad. Like,
yeah, because it's like someone who's stealing food, like needs it. And I'm not saying it's okay to steal, but it's saying that like you're not stealing just like something that's not survival needs. So it's something like, yeah, like you're actually doing it because you don't want to be hungry.
Yeah.
That's why, like with homeless people and stuff, giving money, I think like, well, I don't know what you're going to be spending it on. Like I have purchased, I got what was the name? Mike's.
She She just threw a pot at him after he let her have the food.
Jersey Mike's. I got some homeless guy Jersey Mike's once in Chicago, but like I was going into the Taco Bell, but he wanted, so I was like gonna go there, but he wanted Jersey Mike's, so I was like, yeah. And he asked if I was gonna be ordering anything. Like, no, I'm going to Taco Bell after this. So I went in and bought him food.
I remember one time these younger people were like, "We'll clean your windshield, for $5." And I was out with a friend, and he's so generous, and it's part of the reason why is because he's from the Midwest, and he's like, "Here's $20. You don't have to clean my window," and he just walked away, and like he does that stuff all the time.
And you have to be careful that, I mean, like, because even in college, in Pittsburgh, they like say, hey, like, you shouldn't really give money to them because you just don't know if they could be dangerous or something too. So it was kind of like you gotta, but I felt confident enough that like this is daylight, this is daytime, there's a bunch of people around. Like I didn't think like this guy's going to do anything. There have been other times too where it's like, oh, this homeless guy is begging like whatever with a cup, and then I walk and I'm like, I found $5 on this corner, but like you didn't walk to the corner because you were just standing there. So it's like you could, like, you've been here like how long and you didn't find this? No.
There's nothing easy about this street, I have to say.
Yeah, right?
Everything sucks here. I mean, this was mid-depression, so well, not really mid-depression, but
I'm trying to guess his height. I like guessing height. 6'2".
To put it into perspective, though, my friend is always strapped, so it's not exactly like he's like going out there around. I mean, like in Phoenix, you probably should be strapped. I don't know, because yeah, you could be mugged.
Yeah, like I can carry and stuff, and I was for a bit, but lately I haven't. But I also don't really feel the need to. The biggest concern is I should be carrying it around here to shoot at animals, at predators coming by.
Yeah. Chaplin
Although apparently,
like, I'm sorry.
It's fine. Chaplin was what?
He's so good at like I could see why he was
the slapstick,
so
like you had the facial expressions, just like the full body comedy that he can do.
Oh, oh my god, that was brilliant.
Apparently in one of the big creeks in a nearby town, they pulled out a body today. So that was something.
Holy shit.
It's so weird to see. I think it's cool to see, like, this is 1916, I think, or 17. And just to see, like you said, I mean, I guess I don't know if this is costume wear, like maybe they weren't wearing this as much in the 1910s and they're just doing it for the film, but it is just still interesting to see like a setup of a housing unit.
Yeah. Jesus, the stove? Do you know how much of those
That seems really dangerous. Yeah.
Oh my god!
That would have totally killed him.
Yes, it would. I mean, the guy was extremely dangerous.
Yeah, that's true. So, if you feel your life is threatened, self-defense.
Oh god, now he's trying to relax. The chair is broken. That guy's kidnapping a woman, though.
My gosh, Happy Monk, why do you need to have that?
Is that the woman from the church? It might be the woman from the... Is that guy doing drugs?
I think so.
Doing opium.
Back in the day.
Yeah. Well, you just... I mean, he has no idea this is going on.
Oh, so Chicago Faucet posted a link of a picture of Charlie.
Oh, no.
You know what? I think conventionally handsome, but I dig him in the Charlie Chaplin look. So more, I think because of the eyeliner stuff.
I mean, it was his most famous look. You want to know more about Chaplin? You should watch the Robert Downey Jr. Chaplin movie.
Yeah, that's what I think. Chicago Fawcett was just talking about that last night. I didn't know it existed, but hearing that was it Robert Downey Jr. RDJ played him, and he got me very excited. And he's
very good.
Shorter. I mean, like on the shorter side, he's only 5'8".
He is. He's not as short as Chaplin was, but he is very short.
Under.
Oh no, he got drugged.
That's terrifying, actually. You know.
Yeah, it is.
You don't know what you've been drugged with.
It was an upper, apparently.
Yeah. Chaplin's still.
Oh my god.
Something has been going on forever, it seems, this Johnny Boy. I just looked at this movie on IMDb, and the drug addict is played by an actor named Lloyd Bacon. Oh. Charlie Chaplin was a goth, confirmed. Yeah.
I think the best Chaplin movie, though, is probably... I mean, there's so many to choose from. He's made so many titles. Was probably City Lights, though. It's so romantic.
When did that come out?
I'm not sure what year that came out. Let me see.
Because I think Chicago Fawcett was recommending, not Charlie Chaplin, but it was like Buster Keaton. There are a couple. Which ones? I wrote them down.
Oh, Buster Keaton.
They came out in the 20s, though. So I'm like, we can't do it for tomorrow, but maybe we can.
Not yet.
Next time.
City Lights came out in 1931.
Okay, 31. He recommended Buster Keaton's The General and Harold Lloyd's The Safety Last.
Well, he went from a tramp to
a dapper man. What is it? Hobo. Hey, hobo man. Hey, dapper Dan. Happy monks. Those monks are pretty loud for...
Johnny Boy Twit Drop. Wow, Hollywood before the Hays Code was pretty intense. Murder, kidnapping, hardcore drugs. He did squish that guy.
Yeah, did he just die and then he was just done? All right, well.
I'm pretty sure that guy died.
I always like, because they do things unrealistically on TV, in an episode of Yes Dear, where Chin Fist, Walker Texas Ranger. Why can't I think of his name right now? What's his name, Alex?
Are you talking about Jared Padalecki?
No,
the older guy.
Well, I forgot there's a new thing. No, the older guy. He's got a fist for a chin. So many memes and things about him.
The jokes about him?
Yeah, so many jokes.
There's a book you can buy full of the jokes. I'm not going to help you out.
Right now. Whatever his name is, he guest starred in
Chat might help you out. They have, but I
no, I want to need to figure it out on my own. Charlie Chaplin is stuck in my head right now, so I can't think of
Charlie is close.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Chuck.
It starts with an N.
The N word. Not this again. Alex, not this again. Chuck. Chuck.
It ends in an S.
Norris.
Yes, you got it.
Woo, finally came back. Wow, I don't know what happened there. Like, why that was that name? I haven't thought about that name.
Shut the fuck down.
Like, I could picture him. I could see all these like different jokes and memes and things, and just could not remember. And then I was thinking Chuck Taylor. I'm like, no, that's not right. So then after Taylor, then I thought Chuck Norris. Woo! All right, I got there. I did not look at chat. I swear, it just came back. So Chuck Norris guest starred in an episode of Yes Dear. And I think Jimmy, he was asking about like, oh, you know, all the fight scenes that he's been in. And he's like, yeah, but those are unrealistic. Like, you know, if you hit someone over the head with whatever, they're like, that's probably gonna, you know, put them in a coma. And so later on, they happen to get into a bar fight, and he hits someone with a stool and like knocks him out though. And he's like, see, Jimmy, probably in a coma.
That's why like being hit in the head is definitely a like if someone hits you so hard you might lose conscious, that is enough in most districts in the US to be
Or like
considered
attempted
lethal
murder.
force.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And if you're unconscious for more than a minute, you're gonna be suffering brain damage. So like any time, like, oh, they've passed out, they're unconscious, and the way you can take them somewhere, like if they are still unconscious for however long it took you to move them here, they are not okay.
Well, even if you don't lose consciousness, you should probably get yourself checked out for minor brain
Yeah, yeah,
damage.
for sure. Yeah. That's
Because of the like hospitals will like say, "Oh no, you're fine. You didn't lose conscious.
yeah,
Your
like
pupils are
concussions and
dilated the
things. Like,
same." And it's like,
yeah.
"No, no, 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 no. Check to make sure that I'm not having like minor seizures or something." Like because by the way, like you rock your temporal lobe, that might cause permanent damage that is minor, but will change your life. So don't let it just sit there. You get hit in the head, even if you don't lose consciousness, it's important. Like, it was
Yeah.
seriously.
Um, Yeah, and so and other things too, where I just like where they do stuff unrealistically that always bothers me. And I get it. I get for like dramatic effects, like you want to do it, but so then a lot of times when I write things, I try to do it more realistically. I'm like, yeah, like how do I make this work? But other ones too were like strangulation, like they strangle someone and like if they fall unconscious, like no, you need to keep that up for like another 3 to 4 minutes. Like they will
Yep.
wake up later, like they might have
Like,
damage to
literally,
stuff, but like
Jeffrey Dahmer was confused by that one.
yeah, yeah. And I knew that before watching that series too, though. It's just because I've done a lot of research on murder, I guess. I don't remember why I knew that, but I think because of just how was always curious about like the realism in TV and stuff, like, well, what actually happens for here? And
They did that. They did that in Freak Show, that American Horror Story Freak
Mhm.
Show. That Bomer's character is being murdered, and it takes forever.
Mhm.
And the reason why it takes forever is because the guy keeps thinking he's done, and then that Bomer is still alive.
I was about
He
like,
like regains
yeah.
consciousness, and he's like, "Oh God, please take me to the hospital." And then like, and it's like, this is very realistic. I'm not. I'm like, glad, I applaud you, but this is also torturous. Like,
Yeah.
please
So
slit
it's
his
like
throat for the
I
love of
know.
God.
Like, you don't wanna watch someone be or, like, knock them unconscious first and then strangle them or something, like, that way it's you don't I don't know, have to deal with that. And also maybe we don't need to watch it either, like, you could just cut back later, like, you strangle them and then, like, you go to a different scene and you come back like, "Okay, time has passed. I believe this was
Yes,
enough that, like, it
exactly.
happened."
I mean,
Um,
I applaud them for calling out the fact that they act like murder is so easy.
yeah.
Like, I appreciate that because they're right. It is kind of a problem with Hollywood. They make it look like it's super easy to kill somebody, and it's like it is both easier than you think it is because of blows to the head, and harder than you think it is because of strangulation and stabbing. And it's like we have a problem here that with the realism of it.
Yeah, there are times when I'm like, did her falling back, like, you know, just like a slight shove and she trips and like and hits the sink, the bathroom sink or whatever. Like, I think sometimes like that can kill, but then there are times when I'm like, would that have like how many times have I like hit my head on things though? And like how hard does it really need to be? Like you could be bleeding or something, you hit the corner of it though, but like what I don't and I haven't really looked into that though, like, what is the realistic idea of, like, if it wasn't, like, a hard like, a really ha or I guess my question should be how much pressure does there need how much force does there need to be before when you hit, let's
It's
say, the corner of something and die?
it's I think there's three factors. There's the amount of force of the blow, what part of your head takes the
Mhm.
majority of the impact, because your temple and the back of your head are pretty big ones.
Yeah.
And then the third one is how much capacity does your brain and your skull have specifically you or the person who's being hit in the head
Why'd you say specifically you? Remember that time when Chat was like talking about murdering me? Like all the things about
we're planning your murder, okay? Yeah. Just get over it. And like that part, like because it say your brain, like one person might be able to withstand more blows than someone else. Like, for example, someone who has never suffered a blow to their head ever, like literally never even fell as a child, could withstand what might kill someone who has already been a professional football player and has now retired. They played in high school, they played in college, and they played professionally. They've taken a lot of hits. Their brain is at max for the amount of hits they could have taken. So one more blow might kill them. So it's kind of, and also some of that's genetic factors, like, or environmental factors. Maybe where you are living has a higher rate of toxicity in the air. Like all those things will impact the likelihood of you dying from a blow to your head. So it's not, there is no perfect answer of this much.
It's terrifying to think about how like, any other head injuries that you've had in the past, like your brain has sustained that damage like permanently. And so then like even something that wouldn't be that maybe that bad, but it's just like, nope, your brain couldn't handle it. It's already been damaged. And they're like, that's scary. And then it makes me wonder how bad. I hit my head all the time on everything ever. I'm not good at depth perception, like getting in and out of cars or like hitting, like leaning down and then and hitting my head on desks and things too. Like I've had a lot of like minor head injuries and things.
I've fallen a few times on tile, and also I had a seizure when I was 14, and I fell off of one of those high stools. When I had that, I was sitting on a high stool in art class, and I started having a seizure. So like it wasn't the fall. The fall was caused by the seizure. I was already having a seizure. But I hit my head when I landed. I also had a seizure in a bathroom. I don't know if I hit my head when I was in the bathroom, but I moved. The weird part is I don't remember going into the bathroom, but I apparently went into the bathroom, started having a seizure. I'd unlocked the door to the bathroom too. So this is a serious concern here.
Yeah.
And I was moving around. I was flailing around in the bathroom. Someone had heard me in there making all this noise. And then I unlocked the door after the seizure ended and then fell out of the room. So apparently I came out of the seizure enough to unlock the door and open it. Don't have a memory of that either.
Crazy.
So I did not my memory doesn't come back in until I was in the ambulance on the way to the hospital. So like, that's the thing though, about seizures is that like how, and your memory as well, you could be cognizant and not retaining memory. That's I learned that very clearly, that you can be cognizant enough to be doing stuff, but not retain memory because your brain is like, it gets shorted out from something like a seizure.
Forgetting things freaks me out. Like, I mean, and that's happened. That's why, like, I don't really drink much, but like there have been times that I've been very drunk and I hate that. Like you do lose some memory and things. Like the ginger had told me something where like about when I was wasted and then like stuff that I said or did or whatever. I'm like, I don't have any recollection of that. Like, and that freaks me out to like, and like I get that like naturally like I forget a lot of things. Couldn't remember Chuck Norris's name. So but there's like a difference where it's like kind of like a natural memory loss, but then when it's something specific, like, oh, there was a reason that like that
a time loss is very different than having a hard time recalling a piece of information. Those are two different types of memories.
Like you just lost part of
I very rarely have gotten drunk enough to like lose memory because I never want to get that drunk.
That's why I don't like, because I reached that point and like I just can't stop myself though too. Like I've got alcoholism in my blood and in the family. So and that's what And I rarely do, and it's only like, oh, when it's a time I'm like, this is fine, like just hanging out with friends, or like I'm home or something where it's just kind of like this is a safe enough place that like it's okay that I can let loose. Like otherwise, it's just like usually I don't. But I really need to keep myself in check though too, because like even if I'm out or something, there'll be a point where I'm like I just can't say no, like, and I'm going to want more. So normally I get like one or two or something, and they're like the fruitiest, bitchiest drinks that have like no alcohol in it. And all the time too, I'm like, this would taste a lot better if there weren't any alcohol in this. So like it gets a bitter taste. But
That's kind of like my dad. He loved like strawberry daiquiris and like orange creamy
those sound so
drinks.
delicious. And the
He
idea of putting
loved
alcohol
those.
in them, like it makes me think, man, that's gonna taste like bitter and gross.
I don't think he liked alcohol all that much, which is, it's kind of funny. My mom drank beer like almost at every meal, which is dinner. I mean, dinner. And which is kind of
Every
funny because
meal.
I'm like, every meal,
Some
breakfast too.
breakfast beer.
Although her breakfast was her dinner because she worked nights. So, like, to
Okay.
be fair, like everything's topsy turvy when you work nights. But like, yeah, she liked beer, and he just did not want to drink. But when he did, and very rarely did he, it was always something like that, like a strawberry, like
Yeah.
like you needed a
Anything that's
blender.
like island drinks is what I always
Yeah.
anytime that those are available, like, why don't I live somewhere in an island where these are just always the drinks? Always great. Coconut rum and pineapple is like my favorite, the Malibu rum, Malibu pineapple.
I
Um,
hate pineapple, but I'm intolerant of it, so
yeah,
I
yeah,
don't
so
mean
that's
that like of an emotionally
yeah, do
level.
not tolerate pineapples in this household.
I
Uh,
kinda don't. Like, once someone brought pineapple to my house in the groceries, and it broke open and spilled pineapple juice all over everything, and I have a
wait, a whole
dermist
pineapple or like
reaction.
pineapple can?
Like, it was like a pineapple, like, cored and put into, like, a plastic tub with
Oh, okay.
juices,
I was just
and it
picturing, like,
opened.
somehow a whole pineapple got smashed and, like,
No, 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 no.
juice
It was, like,
okay,
already, like, worked
okay.
through. Like, if it was a like, like, you need to cut it up, that would've been
Mhm.
fine. But no, it was, like, a plastic tub with pineapple in it, and it opened in the grocery bag and got pineapple juice everywhere, and it's usually my job to put, the groceries up because, like, I know where everything's supposed to go, and then I discovered this, and I'm like, "I'm not fucking touching this."
Speaking of pineapples, here's something racist. Where was it growing up? It was, like, late high school years, like, maybe a senior, maybe post high school or something, and I never cut a pineapple before, but I think my friends were disappointed because, I'm some sort of, like, Asian Pacific Islander kinda thing, and I think it might have been my friend's dad saying that, like, "How can I not know how to cut a pineapple, though? Like, it's supposed to be, like, a rite of passage for you learn to cut a pineapple." I always remember that. But then it's not as bad as I thought. Like, "Oh, yeah, I could do this." Um, alright, I've been ignoring chat. There's more on YouTube
Oh,
from
we
during the
have a
movies.
new Rumble.
Oh, okay, hang on. Let me do this chat first because 'cause I'm gonna forget again. We had signage bonus.
I need to
I
go
mean
to the bathroom, so
okay, yeah. Let
leave
me
Lily, so I'll be right back.
totes fine. Here in the small box, I think that translator on TV. Well, they said fake it till you make it. There was a sign language that spontaneously developed among deaf kids at a school in Latin America somewhere. Oh, interesting. Marie Antoinette Alley, lots of bread and cake shops. Just don't lose your head. Sociologists and linguists studied them because many things about the scenario were unique, and each generation of kids had modified and simplified their language. That's cool. I think any group of humans living together for a long enough time will develop their own language. Yes, yeah, I think because they're going to figure out some way to communicate. I believe that. There's a thing too. What is like if you don't learn language by the time you're like 12 years old, then it's very limited of what you can learn after that because like the brain is super malleable, but like it's like the most malleable at a younger age too. And so like it's true, like the older you get, the less elasticity that your brain has. And so that's why like in old age, it's harder for them to like learn new things or be more open-minded. You get more closed-minded. But so it's something about like around 12 years old. Maybe it has to do with puberty. But like language is a big barrier there if you don't learn it by then. That woman is quite dangerous. Elastic. Whoa, he just straight up squished a guy with a stiff expectation. Yeah, right? That was pretty graphic. Wow, Hollywood for the Hays Code was pretty intense. American having hardcore drugs. Fieldnet, I think you were judging me when I couldn't remember. Almost forgot it again. Almost called him Steve Norris. Chuck Norris's name. Hello. Thank you, Stevie J. Thank you for laughing at me, Stevie J. What if you're kooky before you get bonked in the head? How can they tell if something is off? Yeah. I don't think they worry about it. I think I make fun of friends and stuff who are like that too, where I joke about like, yeah, you probably just have some sort of brain damage. That's why it's you. It's generic you. For specifically you, if you happen to get murdered at some point, you better watch out. You. Some stores have a machine that will cut the pineapple perfectly and put it in a plastic container, and you can watch the whole process. It's awesome. I just saw the printing press at our sister newspaper too, but that's where our papers get printed, and it was so cool. I guess I was picturing the old school kind that I was told about, where they like lift the thing down and then stamp it, but it was just the whole like assembly line thing, and it printed the one color. It did red as it shot over to the next part, and I think it like did like yellow, blue, and black, however it did, and like the papers went up and like turned back, came around and like twisted and stuff. It was really neat, and it was chugging through very quickly. It was kind of scary. It was there's the part, I don't know if this happens to anyone else, but it's like the thing where you want to like touch something or but even though it'd be dangerous, and then my OCD gets bad about it, because it's like I would want to put my hand on that thing, but you shouldn't. Anytime in a bowling alley, like they made them safer now, but like the newer ones, but like the old school, the ball whatever it's called, the ball thingy, that brings the balls back, and it had like the band. I always like want to stick my hand in there, even though, or maybe because of the one movie that I saw, the couple movies where they like stick the guy's hand in there and it eats his hand off. But every time I want to put my hand in there. Hi, Alex. I must touch all the things. I completely understand. Yeah, see, you get it. What's the thing? What's the ball in a bowling alley? The ball thing that they made safer now, but they used to just have like the ball
return.
That's the word I needed. Thank you. I was talking about how I always want to stick my hand in there. And all right, let's go to Rumble. Whoop, where is Rumble?
Hey, sweetie.
Hi.
You heard that?
Yeah. Let's see. Fist chin. You're saying, yeah, that's because that's what I remember. I remember like the meme of Chuck Norris, and he just has a fist chin. Research on murder. Yeah. To make strangulation take a cue from David Carradine. Use a belt so you don't have to strain your hand and arm muscles. Just saying, in case you haven't need to do it. Thank you. Chicago Faucet. Thank you for the vibration. There we go. Another How I Met Your Mother reference, the episode where the girls wanted to go to a gay bar so that they wouldn't get hit on, and the guys discovered free drinks. Yes. Hey, your state, you're a little late. Already got help from Alex. Ball return. How I Met Your Mother, I do really love that show. How I Met Your Father, really disappointing. Really upset that last episode had a thing about men's rights guy on it, and I might have reached my point of like not continuing the show now, but like there's the part of me that's like, I already started it. I just kind of want to play it out though, like even though I think it's done, but then it's like, oh, I shouldn't watch it because like I don't want them to think that I like it, but it's just the thing of knowing, like I want to know what happens. Like now I need to know.
Wait until it's canceled.
Yeah, and then watch it, and then yeah. So maybe I'll have to do it that way. But it's just like, man, this writing was super dumb, and like I was already kind of blah, and now you made it like bad. It's really stupid. I feel like Beverly's devolving linguistically on the stream. First Chuck Norris and then ball return. I remember forgetting like the word it or that or something. There have been times where I blank out on specific words, and I don't know why. And it started happening, I think, after college, and then, or maybe during college. And I was worried for a while, and then I started doing improv, and I was like, no, this makes it hilarious, because then when I can't think of the right word, I replace it with something else though, which makes it a little bit nonsensical, but it just like, then it adds to it. Cause I always love being the one who starts, like what's it called? Like with whatever bits that we're doing, and like tag runs will happen. Like the main example I always remember, I couldn't remember the autograph book, the term for autograph book. And instead I said, can you sign my calendar? Because I just legitimately couldn't. And I was just like kind of picturing something that you might do. So the calendar was the only thing I could think of. And so then the other people like who came in and tagged it, like they were having like replacing whatever items with like the wrong thing. Like, can you wash my car with a fish or whatever? Apparently recently been strangled, confirmed. Yeah.
That reminds me of the person who forgot the word milk and said cereal water.
Yeah. And the ginger frequently there's so many times when he's just like, oh, I think recently it was something like, oh, I figured. Sorry, let me remember how this conversation went. We were eating it was a non-healthy food. We've been trying to do more salads and stuff, but I think we're doing breakfast for dinner. That's what it was. We were doing Brinner. I made waffles and stuff, and I had like green Hawaiian punch. And so he made a comment on, because I usually just drink like water or 0 calorie something. So he's like, oh, like doing some Hawaiian punch. And I said something to the effect of, yeah, I figured fun dinner, good drink. So it was like something like that. And he was just like, how come every time you figure something you get retarded? But there are just so many times that like, and it's like he has the right to be upset by how retarded my responses are with things, because he'll just like stare at me.
You do that when you say I figured.
Does it happen?
Whatever comes out of your mouth is like not like understandable.
I didn't know I did that using figured, because that's the only time I could think of. You'll have to know next time I figure something. But even if I don't say that,
I figured, and then like your brain just shuts down.
I think that happens sometimes too. Because then I'll think of something and forget it, and then my brain's trying to remember, and as soon as it comes back, I'm like, yeah, I remember it, and then it forgets it again, and it'll just something in my brain just blacks it out. And I don't know why. Oh my gosh. Let's just watch more silent films where I don't have to worry about words. I figured, yeah, I need to write down the other stupid things that I say, but he definitely has commented on how retarded I am sometimes. I used to be smart, guys, I swear. Been restored by fire. Okay.
I don't think it matters.
Oh. Is that the same guy from before? It's just or maybe it's just a different big guy who he looks like the one who played the bad guy.
He I don't know.
Coley says the only time Goliath the stagehand, David his assistant. The only time I ever was funny during improv was the time they gave us a toilet seat as a prop. Everyone was using it as a wheel or a seat, etc. When I tapped in, the thing ended up on the ground, so I just walked up to it, crouched down, and shouted at it between my hands, "Hello."
And they're being really direct, naming them David and Goliath.
Yeah,
I think that is the guy. That guy is the guy from the
okay. Yeah.
other video.
Makes mean enough. David is my favorite guy's name.
God, that's a beard.
Props look so light. Just
I
doesn't look
know.
heavy.
What is he doing with his stick? Oh no! And he's
Wow.
sitting on him. No, he's standing on him. Maybe you should have gotten more than one person to move this. Ow.
Yeah, right. Yeah, even after all that, like, no one's gonna help either.
Yeah, there's all these people. Help him!
Johnny boy. You have to get back to your Asian roots, be smart again. That's it. That's why
Oh
I'm
god.
struggling. I've gotten too white.
I like the wood block sound when
Mhm.
it hits people. Like,
Mhm.
it's very clearly the wood block in the orchestra. Why not sit on the couch instead of the chair?
Yeah, if you're trying to relax.
Damn. That is actually kind of impressive.
Unless they're all foam chairs.
Yeah. I mean, he sat on at least one of them. But now he looks like a monster.
Mhm.
He moved the... Okay, the piano is
Okay.
clearly fake.
Mhm.
Why is the big guy not moving things? Oh. Well, that's frustrating to see.
Interest. Finishing touches.
Because he just sits around all the time.
Mhm. Yeah, what's his job? Is he the boss?
I think he's actually the one supposed to be moving a lot of this stuff,
Oh.
and Chaplin's character is moving most of it instead, and not getting credit for it. And he's really giving that bare head like a lot of work.
Clip that.
Oh god, it keeps
That
happening.
bare head, a lot of work. Very frustrated.
Oh, this is driving me crazy. It's a lot of pies.
What kind of pies are they?
They're very small though,
Yeah.
but it's a lot of them.
And you could just pick up by hand?
Onions. They must be meat pies then.
That's what I was wondering. At what point, like, how much British influence do they still have?
He's eating bread. That guy's eating onions, and he is like so uncomfortable with it. Yeah. I've been in a restaurant that reeked of garlic, and I was like, I'm worried that I'm inhaling fructans just by being here.
Oh, I love garlic and onions.
I do too, but I can't have it.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that reminds me. In high school, my colonel, he said that when he was in the Air Force, he was traveling with some guy, and it was a bunch of them in a car, and it was freezing outside, so they had to have the windows closed, and he was eating a whole onion raw. And it was like horrible in the car the whole trip. I said, why didn't you like take the onion out of his hand and throw it out the window?
I don't know, your eyes are watering and stuff too.
Yeah.
For potatoes, I was thinking about like eating them raw, I think, which I guess would be fine. But then I think I worry about like nightshade stuff with it, though. So I'm like, well, I like to be careful and cook it.
That guy's wearing a fake mustache too.
No, I think it's real. Actually, the ginger had like a very, before I knew him, I've just seen it on his driver's license, like a very big, thick, hilarious Mario mustache.
There was some guy at my work who had like he would curl the ends of his
Oh,
mustache in a
yeah, like a
very like
villain?
yeah, like a Wild West guy. It
Mhm.
was really funny looking, but it's like, I mean, I think it's a hipster thing
Oh,
now.
yeah, yeah.
They're like a Newton's cradle.
We struck.
You were literally sleeping on the job.
I like using that as just the verb too. Like we're not going on strike, we strike.
Yeah, and then they said
We've
we've
struck.
struck.
Yeah.
Oh no, now what? That little dance is hilarious.
Oh.
Oh. Oh yeah, the woman who wants to be a actor. I think there's a romantic theme to a lot of Charlie Chaplin's movies. Like I think he was like a serial romantic.
Mhm.
So like most of his movies have a romantic theme to them. Stream suspended for policy violations. What are you talking about, Stevie J?
On YouTube?
You know, like I like that's what chat says at YouTube.
Oh. For policy violations. Interesting. I'm not even looking on YouTube for it. What policy? I thought this is public domain. We're watching this on YouTube.
Yeah. Yeah, it says stream unavailable on YouTube for policy violations.
Interesting. Maybe it's something that we said earlier. I said a lot of naughty things.
Maybe. That's awful. Why? So we're still on
I think Rumble's
Rumble.
fine.
Yeah, I'm gonna put it in chat.
Huh. Well, that just makes me kind of more. That makes me less interested in streaming on YouTube. Like if I do like just uploaded videos for like whatever animal stuff or something, I can do that. But I might just stop doing YouTube completely because it's like if you're gonna be
A
pussies
dick?
about, yeah, a dick or a pussy. Which I'll say too.
Maybe it's the music on the videos, they're saying.
Oh, but again, this is on YouTube. We're watching a YouTube video. So if this
Yeah.
is going to be suspended, why wouldn't you suspend the videos that YouTube links?
Yeah, that's really weird. I'm gonna share the
Really?
screen to chat.
Oh yeah, good idea.
I just missed like a ton of this movie.
Oh, you want me? I can rewind it.
Yeah. Like, no idea what's going on.
Do you need it farther back than this? I don't know where you.
I have no idea. That's good. That's good.
Okay. I do really love the music though too, like orchestral music and stuff.
Oh yeah, it is good.
I'm very curious what the policy violation is now. I wonder if they tell me anywhere.
You'd have to look on your end because I don't think I can see it. Oh, now she's going to be a stagehand.
Hmm.
That doll. I like the leg movement for pulling the trap. Like, it's not necessary, but it's adorable. He's on the trap.
Something about him just standing on there too, like blankly, reminded me of the geese. I think like Lemon Hope, she's always scared of things, and at one point the ginger was standing and at one spot, and Lemon Hope was like kind of behind him or like facing away, and then and everyone else was leaving though. I'm like, what are you doing? And then she was just kind of like, oh, like, did you? And he's like, I think she forgot she existed for that moment because she just wasn't doing anything. I don't know how to see anything on here.
You have to go to YouTube Studio and
Yeah.
like look at the stream's restrictions.
Would it be under the specific stream?
Yes, the
Under?
specific stream.
Restrictions. It says none.
That's so confusing.
So I have no idea, but hey guys, if you're watching on Rumble and you like YouTube, I may not be streaming on YouTube anymore because I don't want to have to deal with that.
I don't really blame you. And it does look like I can stream on Rumble now, so
nice.
I'm gonna start streaming to Rumble too.
And just generally, like, we get more Rumble viewers than YouTube for this.